bread, and we give it out. We give it out to the community. We give it out to our kids. For Thanksgiving, we gave all the kids turkeys. Um, we try to do for the community, and hopefully we can do more. But that's what we do right now.
So where did you get the turkeys from? Did you pay for that with your own money?
No, the turkeys was
They were
donated.
donated.
Thank God.
Oh, that's
They were
wonderful.
donated. So we got to give the families turkeys. Yes, they
That's
was donated.
that's
Yes, they
lovely.
was.
That's
Yeah.
lovely. And you give food not only to the people who are in your program, if I
No, yeah,
recall, right?
everyone.
Whoever gets off the bus.
Yes, we have them bags
Yeah.
of Panera bread, or we'd give them. Panera gives us muffins. They give us cookies. They give us different stuff.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
And one of the things that people are listening who are thinking about maybe starting one of these organizations themselves is your personal effort, your personal charisma
Hmm.
has inspired other people now to become volunteers in your organization and
Yes.
follow you in this path. So
Yes.
I know when I was there, I saw a webmaster,
Yes, we have
right?
webmaster. He is working. Wow. He works a lot on our website to get it right. I have Tony, who's our program um, director. I have Dr. Shirley Gaines, who does all the counseling, and I have Simone, who is, she does all the chief operational. Um, she does the grants. I have Mike Riddick, who does a lot. I have Alan. It's a lot of us.
Yeah,
Mark Powell. Um, it's a lot of us that wants, the community wants things for the community, and by us pulling together and doing what we need to do, um, it makes it all worth it. And to
it's
see that smile on that kid's face makes it really worth it. To know that he has learned something makes it worth it. To see a child sew makes it worth it.
yeah,
Yeah, to see a child build something, and that child didn't need any directions. To see him build it and to see the smile on his face, it's just all worth it. It's all worth it
and for the parents to know that
for the
this
parents to
child
know.
who got in trouble in the first place,
Yes,
right? Um, now, you are about to expand,
yes,
right?
yes,
Because right now, your
yes.
relationships with people and their children
Hmm.
has been just spreading word of
Mouth.
mouth
Yeah, yeah,
and networking and
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
But now you're waiting
Now, yeah,
for what? For a date for what?
now I'm just waiting to we're applying for different grants now, um, and we're waiting on just a couple more retired teachers, and then come January we go we go into full blown.
And you're going to have a meeting with the Trenton School Board,
Yeah, we have to
right?
do that for the suspension program,
Yeah,
to have a meeting with them to let them know how this program helps the community. It helps the teacher. It helps the child. It helps the parents.
right. And
And
that
that's the important part, is connecting those three right there.
if they accept that's going to open the floodgates,
Yes. Yes,
right?
it will. Yes, it
And
will.
so you're using retired teachers
Yes.
to for the academic,
For the academic, yes.
part of that,
Yes.
because you're getting kids at all different levels, at
Yes.
all different skills, all different assignments.
Yes.
You got to have proper educators,
You have to. You
you know,
have to.
who are
You
in
have
there
to.
to do that.
Who's in there to do that, and who's willing to do that,
Yeah,
who may be tired because their classes was too big, or they might have got tired of some stuff that was going on, but is willing to say,
and who's
you know
willing
what,
to.
I will help this organization out on what you're doing. So
Absolutely.
if they can have this one child and help that one child get through his day, or get through them couple hours while he's doing that work,
Yeah.
that child is not only learning more because he has one on one, but
Right.
he's really getting to know, wow, this work, okay, I can do this work. I really can do this work
Yeah.
because I have somebody who explained to me that work in the way that I needed it to be explained to me.
Yeah, it's a real self-esteem issue there,
Yes, it
isn't it?
is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is. Because I don't want to sit next to you and I know you getting straight A's and I don't know what I'm doing. And I see you over there and you're constantly doing work and you're constantly getting A's. You right there, you didn't blew my self-esteem. So I'm gonna go over here and pretend like I'm doing my work. And I just don't know. I don't want to ask the teacher because I'm embarrassed.
Right.
So it's a lot. It's a lot. I think kids are really stressed.
Yeah.
And we have a stress room too.
You have a stress room.
Yes, we do.
Oh goodness, there's a whole lot of complex emotions
It is
that
because it's a big building,
yeah.
so you can come in that room and go in that
So
room.
how long
Yeah.
are the kids typically there for? They come in the
If
morning,
you suspend it, then you're there in the morning, just like a regular school day.
8 a.m.
Yep,
Yeah.
8 a.m. like a regular school day, and the parent picks them up in the afternoon. My after school program, the kids come in at 3.
Hmm.
Right now, they get out of school like at 3 or 3:30, and then they come in and they stay to 6, and they're the ones who do all the fun stuff.
Oh, okay.
Homework is done. First, we check homework and making sure it's done. We have a piece in our application that says that we can go to the school and just check, just to make sure when this child is telling me 3 days in a row that they don't have any homework,
Hmm.
let us go check to make sure that they don't have any homework. Sometimes kids tell little teeny white
You
lies.
think? You think? I mean,
Just little ones.
well, we were having this discussion earlier about
Mhm.
how parents
Yeah.
can find out.
Yes, they can. Parents can find out their kids when they were in school, whether they were late, what type of homework they got by accessing the Trenton District site. Each child gets a number, and you can go in there and you can check, and you can email the teacher. So if you're listening, you can check on your child. You can see what he's doing. You can see that he didn't go to school that day and look at him saying, "How was school today?" "Oh, you was in school? Really?" "Well, I got some information that says otherwise."
Uh-huh.
So you can do that.
Yeah,
So
but does it actually get done?
a lot of parents either don't know about it or don't use it,
Yeah.
and they should use it.
Yeah. I wonder, I bet you could access it even from a smartphone at this point,
You can access it from anywhere, and if you
Yeah.
don't have a computer, you just come right on into Howard Healthy Choices. We have plenty that you can use.
Yeah. That's right.
Yes,
Or
yes.
I mean, they could go to any
They
library,
can go to any
but you'll
library,
show them how to
but
do
we
it,
can show you
you
how to
know?
do it. Yeah.
I just wonder if to some degree some people are just like the kids, a little
Hmm.
embarrassed. They might not
Some
know.
of them are, but we tell them don't be embarrassed about anything when you walk into Howard Healthy Choices because we're there to help. We are the resource, so we're here to help.
You certainly are. www.Howard's Healthy Choices. That's the place to go to learn more about this organization. It's the place to go if you want to make a donation to this wonderful, wonderful cause. I'm so glad that I got a chance to meet you, and I hope we can do a lot of cool things together
Me
in the
too.
future. I
Me
look
too.
forward to that. A few final words before we depart tonight. A great organization called Child Trends recently released a document called Supporting Young People Transitioning from Foster Care, findings from a national survey. And it basically discusses the findings from their national survey of state independent living coordinators on the array and availability of services and supports for youth and young adults who have experienced foster care. And the report highlights state trends and examples of innovation in 6 major areas, like what's available for foster age outs in post secondary education, employment and career development, financial capability, safe, stable, and affordable housing, health insurance, mental care, permanent relationships with supportive adults, that sort of thing. And for those of you who are regular followers of the show, you know that um, we've traced child welfare from its early beginning stages when it was non-existent and there were orphanages. And you've all seen Little Orphan Annie, so you kind of have an image in your mind of what that was like, right? They changed the sheets every month, whether they need it or not. Um, to what the state of child welfare is now. And anyone who really understands the history of this would never argue that it's worse now than it was then. It's demonstratively better. Um, and something that we encounter all the time at Age Out Angels, which was borne out by this survey, is that services drop off significantly after age 21, and that housing is the area with the greatest need for improvement. So I thought I'd share with you some of their top line findings. The first one is, although foster care is almost always available in some form to youth over the age of 18, 3/4 of states report that most young people leave foster care before the maximum age permitted. Nearly every state reported that foster care can be extended beyond age 18. And I will tell you for a fact that the outcomes are worse for young people who leave foster care before they have to. They can emancipate. They use that word emancipate at the age of 18. And a lot of them just say, oh, I can't wait to get out of the shackles of the rules of the house that I'm living in so I can be free. And what they find out is that the world is a very cruel place. And their outcomes are almost always worse than the kids who stay into the system. Across every category, the service array is similar for youth ages 18 to 21 in foster care and those 18 to 21 who have left foster care. So there are a lot of similar packages that kids just don't know about, is kind of what happens. And there's a steep drop off in available services and supports as soon as people reach age 21. In fact, I will tell you that when kids reach age 21, if you don't have your life in order, if you don't have your little ducks in a row and a place to live, you are a welfare person at that point. You register for social services, and you're a welfare person. So it constantly raises the question, is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? And personally, I happen to think it's half full because I'm an eternal optimist. But that still means we have halfway, or in many cases, more than halfway to go. And here's where some of that half is. Do you remember in the very beginning of the broadcast, I told you about a young person whose birth mother changed her last name without her permission? And now this person needs legal help. She's 16 years old. She has to file a petition with the court. And in fact, it costs $675 just to get a paralegal to write a court petition so that her caregiver can then represent herself in court, right? I shudder to think when grandma walks into court holding a piece of paper and thinking that she's going to advocate successfully in a scary place like a court of law, for this child. And I have no idea what it would cost to have a lawyer represent them. And so, yes, the glass is only half full. There's all kinds of mental help for people, but there's no legal representation for kids who get taken advantage of by their birth parents. So yes, my friends, the glass is indeed only half full, and we still have a very, very long way to go. Thanks again to Doc G and John Engineer and DJ Danny, who stayed with us all night, everyone at Hamilton Radio. Thanks to my guest, Tanetta Howard, and the fabulous work she's doing at www.Howard's Healthy Choices. Join us again next week at 9:45. Next week is going to be our last show until January. And in January, we're going to move our time slot earlier into prime time. We're going to have the 8 to 9 p.m. time slot. So we're looking forward to that. So we'll see you next week. We'll continue to find ways to help youth overcome their obstacles and grow up to be productive members of society. Remember to email me at info@ageoutangels.org with questions or comments about tonight's show. And let's make this the best week ever. Good night.
There's something called the they won't allow me to put it or anybody else to see it. Nobody else can see it. That's always been It was really good. You were awesome. You do a lot.
I didn't get to the summer camp.
I
I
didn't
didn't
get
get
to
to
the
the
summer.
summer.
I didn't get to the summer camp.
You know what? I have like pages and every time I wrote one, you answered.
Oh, we hit it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like, okay. Well, it's funny. I had a whole bunch of my summer camp though.
I didn't get to summer camp.
Oh, God.
Ruben.
All right. Good.
Yeah, Facebook is doing it to us again. They let me share it on his page.
So you and I are both trying to get, we're both trying to get feeders,
I can see it.
right? You want the district to feed suspended kids to you.
So,
And I need DCF to feed kids who age out of the
we
system.
can't do it anymore.
To me.
It was fine.
No, DCF is, and just, I mean, I've been through the situation where you wait 4 months for a meeting.
They're not- They're not.
But anyway,
doing it.
He's gonna take the 8 o'clock spot.
Okay.
Kevin is good.
When you're working with them, you have to have
6:30 to
certain
7:30.
criteria. You have to have certain,
The other
So 8. you want
sort of
8,
license.
8 to 9?
Do you have that?
9:30.
No.
And I'm just,
Okay.
I'll let you know.
When you working with them,
He's actually
you have
happy
to have
because
some
it's actually
type of
early. That's why I wanted to give him the offer first.
say that what you're doing is incredible.
And he's gonna,
Okay,
let's work
except
together next week.
that
I'm gonna implement everything.
I'm not asking them for kids who are in the system.
So. he wants
All I'm
to
asking
together
them to
with
do
us
is when a
next
kid
week,
exits
together,
the system,
Oh.
give them my name and say, if
Just let
you
me know
want to
you're
contact this
available.
organization, you can.
Tomorrow.
So they're free of liability at that point.
Well,
For this film,
share his
right?
information.
I talked to them about licensing. They said they didn't really know what the license was for a mentoring. So you see what I'm saying? I'm just saying, so you just let the system.
You're a mentoring system
Yeah.
for 18 and up.
Right, well, actually 14, but yes, for
14.
their purposes, when a kid
So
exits
You
the
need the
system.
card in there.
See, if they're 14, they won't give it to you.
Okay,
Anybody under
that's
18,
fine.
they
Yeah.
won't give it to you. But there should be a way that they can give you them your information.
Right, they don't give their information to me, they give my information to them. And it's up to them if they want to make a phone call.
Well, I'll put the old one in there first, so at least I can get a copy of
You would
something.
have to,
I'll bring it back tomorrow.
I know.
I have to think and call somebody. Because from my understanding, they can stay in the system until,
Oh, this one,
it depends on
this one.
their mindset, the 21.
They can, yeah,
Right?
yeah, they can stay into 21. That's
Here's
true.
the book. Here's the book and everything. Tell you what about it.
And we'll take them at 21.
Right.
But this one does, if you have to use that, you can still use this one, remember, it can just.
I want to
How
do
do you, see, the only way that can happen if you have a agent, you're hooked up with someone who's dealing with
Yep,
kids
right.
that in foster, and then as they get older, they keep dealing with them. As when they turn 18, you take them and then you say, you know what, we have did all we can for you, and now it's time for you to go to this organization here. They will help you do that.
Right.
That's what.
I just have a cable in my hand and
You
I don't know what I do
roll
with
it up and put it in your book bag.
Did we break them out?
No, this is yours.
that could be yours.
Then I might have taken yours.
Okay.
I might have taken yours.
So you have to have,
Yes.
okay, that's what you,
I thought this was yours.
no, that's what you would have to do.
Yep.
Right thing to happen, and I was gonna pray for my safety, which is a fair thing to say, right? Yeah. And I realized, wait a second.
We'll get there.
In history class, I have learned
How,
about the
my mind,
concentration.
when you actually said my mind go to turning, so I think of all my resources, I think of everybody who I deal with on a basis.
Yeah.
Good.
And you haven't been to the Four Seas meeting.
Buy my book.
Four Cs.
All right, guys.
I
Oh,
vote.
the
Thank
Four
you,
Seas.
everybody. The show was awesome. I want to thank everybody.
It's at Friendship Baptist Church. And Thursday.
Hey, Ruben.
I will get you the next meeting.
Yeah.
And I'll email it to
Do you know
you.
what?
So you can be, yeah, because everybody of everything is sitting around that table.
Mm-hmm.
So that we can get that. My problem is, once they get 18, if they're not.
Something that's in order.
I sit around those people till, oh, they 18.
That's in one.
Well, she went to doctor express, she was
There's
on the
another meeting in
my manager got her because she's on her first shift.
Have you putting
But they said she had one for over 6 months, she never had, so now she's keeping black.
At Lawrence Latin.
Can't see, you can't let stuff go.
Another characters. And Robert Kelly.
So should I get her?
Can't see lemons, I figured it
And
out.
there's a lot of people that's sitting there who deal with the kids that's over 18.
Yeah.
And they're in homes, they're in homes, they're getting out, the prison system, and stuff like that, and they were in foster care, and the foster care don't want nothing to do with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was her, so.
And then you have juveniles who's coming out, and the only thing is, I don't know if they're gonna let you work with juveniles without a license. Because I just,
What license?
it's a state license saying that you can deal with certain age kids. There's a license that says that you can deal, you can have a group home.
I just texted.
Is a license that says, it's like 3 or 4 different licenses in there. And you apply for them, like the one I'm
I hope
getting
she can make one tomorrow.
is from
She's with real death.
0 to 13.
No, she was, she was,
I can work from 0 to 13, all in one area.
It wasn't working.
it was,
His,
she was
15,
literally.
16, you have to be another
this
area.
thing didn't work
I
either.
can't work with
His
kids.
laptop, his laptop didn't get.
So when I'm working with those kids
She
are
was
separately working with these kids.
Right.
I have to keep them separate.
That makes sense, yeah.
And that's where